Has Rahul Gandhi reached the battlefield of Gujarat way too late in the campaign? Is the Congress already dead and over in this election? Is the Aam Aadmi Party likely to replace the Congress as the primary opponent to the BJP? Or is the AAP campaign likely to end up more as sound and fury, not really translating into seats, even if they pick up a fair amount of votes? To talk about how things stand at this moment, I'm joined on this broadcast by Supriya Shrinate, National Spokesperson of the Congress, squaring off against Sanju Verma from the Bharatiya Janata Party, and Reena Gupta from the Aam Aadmi Party. And for an independent academic psephological perspective, I'm joined by Sanjay Kumar, lead psephologist at the CSDS. He's also done a big opinion poll looking at voter preferences and how the voters of Gujarat are thinking. So let's start with Supriya Shrinate. On the issue of Rahul Gandhi coming to the Gujarat campaign just 10 days before the elections, this seems to be just ticking a box, khana purti as it were, where you're coming to Gujarat to make it seem as if you can't really say I didn't come, but you're coming in a way that it's already too late in the campaign to actually be able to help his party like he did in 2017. In 2017, he fought Gujarat. Now he seems to be more busy with the Bharat Jodo Yatra, caring only marginally for this election in Gujarat.
No, that's your interpretation and that's your inference. I don't particularly share that inference, and neither do I agree with your interpretation.
He's come for the first time. It's not an inference, I'm just stating objective facts.
Fair enough. Let me finish my answer. You can keep coming after that. Let me first at least speak for the first 30 seconds. I've only spoken for 10. Thank you. I think Gujarat is seeing an election like no other. The Prime Minister can keep spending his time there and the number of empty chairs that we are seeing, and the Aam Aadmi Party can keep strolling Gujarat all over the place, leaving Delhi to mess and of course Punjab to pro-Khalistani rallies. The reality of the day is that Gujarat is going to vote against 27 years of the misgovernance of the BJP. And I do not say this as empty words. I don't say this as hollow things that are said in election rallies. I say this with proof right here. I'm not even beginning to touch Morbi. I'm giving you data which is relevant to Gujarat. The Gujarat model that was, that was marketed and sold to every Indian, and look where the country is today. The Gujarat model tells you that the percentage of women who have ever attended school in a list of 30 states, Gujarat is number 19. Stunted children, 26 out of 30. Wasted children, 29 out of 30. Underweight children, 29 out of 30. Early marriages before the year of 18, Gujarat ranks 20 out of 30 Indian states. That's the Gujarat model for you. Let us open our eyes. The Gujarat model entails that in neighboring Rajasthan, there will be a daily wage of 365. In Gujarat, it will be 285. The Gujarat model entails 23,000 vacant teacher positions. It entails 340 vacancies and 17 lakh applications. It entails a Morbi, where the main accused, where the guy who should have been behind bars is at large and nobody knows where Jaisukh Patel is. Forget about the number of women and children and the elderly who lost their lives. That's the Gujarat model, and that is what Gujarat will vote on. As far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned, you may think it's a late entry, you may think he's busy with Bharat Jodo. If you ask me, and I say this as a Congress person, I say this as a citizen of this country, I think Bharat Jodo beyond politics is something really big that needs to happen in this country. And I am very glad that Rahul Gandhi is focusing on that, he's spearheading that. He's getting people out, listening to them and trying to keep this country united. Because the BJP has done everything that they could, that was in their power to destroy this country.
Okay, so you've spoken enough. Now let's go to Sanju Verma and get her opening comments on Rahul Gandhi's late entry. I was in Gujarat recently, and what a lot of Congress people are trying to tell us is that in rural Gujarat, in Saurashtra, in Kutch, in North Gujarat, the Congress is working on the ground in a BJP-like manner, at least that's what they're claiming, where they're going door to door, on the booths, in the villages, and trying to build a ground-level campaign, and that, they believe, is more consequential than high-profile yatras from central Delhi leaders.
Rahul, I just want to put a couple of facts out in the public domain, but before that, I just want to tell you that I watched that interview of yours with Amit Shah, and it was fantabulous, putting out what needed to be said by one of the biggest heavyweights in terms of leadership from the BJP arena. I could also catch the camaraderie, which was welcome for viewers like me. Now coming to the moot point, let's be very clear.
That's very dangerous. When Sanju Verma starts praising you, that's when things get very tricky and complicated. But anyway, I want to leave that on the side and allow you to complete your argument. Go on, Sanju.
Okay. And Rahul, I said that despite you not giving a proper introduction. When you say Sanju Verma from the BJP, it's Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP. But be that as it may, let me come to the moot point. The debate is on the Gujarat model. I want to say one thing. 2014 Lok Sabha, we had a 62% vote share. We got all the 26 seats from Gujarat. Lok Sabha 2019, we again had a 62% vote share. We got all the 26 seats from Gujarat. Congress, mind you, in Lok Sabha 2019 had a 32% vote share but failed to win a single seat. The Congress's problem is vote share to aa jata hai, but that vote share fails to convert into winnable seats. TV debates par aakar bhashan dena is very easy. I challenge them. If you say the Gujarat model has failed to deliver in the last 27 years, I want to ask a simple question. How many seats did the Congress win last time in 2017 Assembly elections in Gujarat? 77, pardon me. BJP won 99 seats. Now, as the tally stands today, out of the 77 seats that the Congress won, Rahul, 13 of their MLAs jumped ship onto the BJP.
Okay.
13 MLAs, leaving them with, barely a number over 60. So the second point I'm trying to say is that pehle apni doobti hui naiya bachaiye. Your own ship is sinking. Your own MLAs have reposed zero confidence in the top leadership. You used to tom Hardik Patel. Arey hamare paas to Hardik Patel hai. What did Hardik Patel say on the eve of his decision to leave the Congress? He said, Congress में उन लोगों को ज्यादा महत्व दिया जाता है जो 300 किलोमीटर जाकर अपने बड़े नेताओं को चिकन सैंडविच खिलाते हैं. The Congress has nothing to do with ground realities. That is
okay.
The hopeless
So
situation
just
of
park
the
that
Congress.
thought, Sanju,
No,
for a
let me
moment.
finish.
Let me go.
Rahul.
Okay, go on. 30 seconds.
You gave
30
enough
seconds,
time.
Sanju ji.
Yes, you gave enough time. Let me now come to the moot point. Now, what is the Gujarat model? The Gujarat model is a model where last year 37% of the country's FDI came into Gujarat. Gujarat is one of the few states which did not declare a complete lockdown, and yet despite a population of more than 6 crore, reined in the death tally to a little over 11,000, though every life counts. Gujarat model under Narendra Modi has converted itself from being a water deficit to a water surplus state. Gujarat model is the very model today which, thanks to Narendra Modi's decisive leadership in 2017, made the Sarovar Narmada Dam.
Can I come in, please?
Okay, Sanju, I think you've spoken enough. Let me go across to Reena Gupta from the Aam Aadmi Party. The sense I picked up in Gujarat is while the AAP is showing some traction in terms of vote share, in this election at least, the conversion into seats might not be very substantive. Thereby, in the end, is it possible that a lot of the rallies that we are seeing, these roadshows of Arvind Kejriwal and AAP leaders, may not deliver too many seats? It will get you some traction, it's got you some mind space, setting you up as a potential future player, but not necessarily yielding electoral dividends in terms of seats in this election. Reena.
Rahul, yesterday there was a rally in Rajkot where the BJP workers and the people collected there said, Bhajpa jave che, parivartan aave che. So this is a vote for change, this is a vote for Badlav. There is no difference between Bharatiya Janata Party and Congress in Gujarat. We have seen that the same candidates keep getting recycled. Before 2017, some 20 candidates of Congress joined Bharatiya Janata Party. Then the MLAs joined after winning the election. So the people of Gujarat are tired of both the corrupt politics of Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress party. The reason that Bharatiya Janata Party has lasted 27 years in Gujarat is because there was no alternative, there was no real Vikalp. And this is the first time that the people of Gujarat are seeing Arvind Kejriwal, Aam Aadmi Party as a real Vikalp. Yesterday you saw, no, actually today you saw in how the Prime Minister's rally, there were empty seats everywhere. No, for how long will you keep saying कि मोदी जी के नाम पे वोट दो? उसके बाद when you are not able to deliver, does anybody even know who is the Chief Minister of Gujarat? The Chief Minister that keeps getting changed every 6 months. You keep asking for Modi ji ke naam pe vote, but Modi ji is the Prime Minister of the whole country. You know, for Gujarat, you have to show what have you done for the people of Gujarat. Inflation and unemployment are two big issues in Gujarat. There are 50 lakh unemployed youth who are tired of the papers being sold. 20 papers have been sold, 20 papers have been leaked. There is an SIT after every paper leak, but it leads to nothing. There is high inflation, people are not able to, fill their gas cylinders. Then illegal alcohol, 10,000 crores of illegal alcohol.
So let me go across to Yashwant Deshmukh, who's tracking the mood in Gujarat quite closely. Yashwant Deshmukh, from the numbers you put out in your last tracker, I see you're suggesting that the Congress's vote share could come down 25% relative to 2017. You're also, though, saying that the Congress's vote share is still about 10% more than the Aam Aadmi Party's vote share, which suggests that the Congress could still end up as the number 2 party. So AAP is making impactful inroads, but Congress still stays number 2, and that doesn't seem to be much of a threat for the BJP because the opposition votes are getting split 2 ways, thereby suggesting that the BJP at this moment, according to you, seems comfortably placed.
Well, I will take your second point first, Rahul. Yes, BJP is very comfortable right now simply because of the split in the opposition vote.
Correct.
But one thing which is critical to understand that unlike Uttarakhand or unlike other states where we have been tracking Aam Aadmi Party, where they got the initial trend up big time and then it fizzled out by the time election happened because of various things, like in Uttarakhand, at one point of time they reached 17-18%, then they fizzled out. But unlike those, it is not fizzling out yet in Gujarat. We do not have any indication of Aam Aadmi Party fizzling out in Gujarat. And that is something interesting as an election analyst for me to observe, for a simple reason that here is a party where probably people are locking in for as a protest vote. Probably, I would say.
No, but is the trend line plateauing at this moment, or is it an upward sloping curve? Is it an upward sloping curve?
It's not plateauing. That's the interesting point. Not just plateauing, and it's certainly not coming down. So what is happening over here is that a lot of stuff that happens that people always say, "Abhi ticket nahi bate hai, ticket batne ke baad mein aap dekhiye kya hota hai." That's a normal thing which is happening. I mean, which is a real thing happens on the ground.
No, but the Aam Aadmi Party candidates, if that is what is being said, the Aam Aadmi Party candidates are relatively unknown on most seats. Therefore, it's not as if ticket batne ke baad the AAP stock goes up because of the ticket distribution. It could go up for other reasons because people are unhappy with, say, for example, Congress candidates. But it can't necessarily go up because of the kind of candidates who've been given tickets. So what could change in the next 10 days, according to Yashwant? Is there a possibility, according to you, that at some point of time in the next 10 days, these two curves, the Congress at 29, the Aam Aadmi Party at 20, intersect and AAP overtakes Congress in terms of vote share?
Rahul, please give me also...
Just 1 second. Yashwant.
It doesn't really work in a very linear way, but let me put it this way. Rahul, conventional wisdom says that if you are not giving a good number of candidates, good candidates, then you will fizzle out or your numbers will come down. But it doesn't really work in case of Aam Aadmi Party. Correct. Because we know for sure in Delhi and Punjab both, people did not vote for Aam Aadmi Party candidates. Both states, the Aam Aadmi Party's growth story was largely on the vote on their symbol, as a protest vote or whichever way you want to say. Their supporters voted for their symbols, not for the candidate. So that is a very interesting observation because even after giving so-called...
No, I have another question. Is the AAP vote concentrated or is it dispersed? If it's concentrated, even 20% is enough to turn into a substantial number of assembly segment leads. If it is dispersed, you could get 20% across the state, but may not end up with too many seats in the end calculation.
it's dispersed. It's not concentrated, which is good and bad both in terms of growth of party line, because as you mentioned, if it is dispersed, then it might not end up in converting into number of seats.
No, good in the long term, bad and problematic in this election.
But yeah, good in the
kal
long
kisne
term,
dekha, kal ho na ho. It's about what
short.
happens on the 8th of December. That's what the battle is about at this moment. Yashwant.
Yeah, one interesting thing, Rahul, which I want to add, that, Sanjay Bhai was here, I could see, but I don't know if he is still there or not.
He's here.
Yeah, so Sanjay Bhai's numbers or his poll in CSG's poll in Gujarat, it probably came out where somebody from CSDS I was listening said that as per their poll, almost 9 out of the 10 Aam Aadmi Party votes are coming from the Congress kitty. Our numbers was saying that it is roughly about 7.5. 100 में 75 वोट करीबन कांग्रेस से आ रहे हैं, 25 बीजेपी से. So,
okay, pause that. I want to go across to Sanjay Kumar before I go back to our political panelists. Sanjay, you've heard what Yashwant's latest tracker is showing. Your tracker was a few days before this, but there are certain trend lines that are clearly set. So, if we disregard the noise for a moment, what's the signal that you're picking up from Gujarat?
Rahul, I have been saying this for quite some time now, that I have very limited interest in Gujarat election. And why do I say that? In a race where the winner is already declared, so that's my reason for having a limited interest.
Sir, आप ऐसे बोलोगे तो TV कौन देखेगा? You're not allowed to say there's limited interest in Gujarat. Sanjay ji, we forbid you from saying there's limited interest in Gujarat.
So the point I'm trying to say is that this is a race where, in my opinion, the winner is almost set. I don't see any change happening there. The winner is ahead of the other two rivals. The other interest is about who is going to be, which party is going to be number 2 and number 3.
So who's going to be number 2? Sanju has this big smile on her face. She's going to Amazon a box of laddus to you separately. But who's number 2 and who's number 3 in your calculation?
Rahul, may I please?
Rahul, my
Kumar.
own sense is that Congress is...
Rahul.
Sanjay ji,
my own
please.
sense is that now Congress is heading towards number 2 and Aam Aadmi Party is slipping down to number 3. The reason, because it's not, Aam Aadmi Party is not getting the attraction because of candidates. Congress is getting some attraction because of the candidates. Look at Aam Aadmi Party's position. Even when the polls were conducted a month ago, Aam Aadmi Party was getting attraction, and we could track it from the polls that, roughly in the range of say 20 to 25% people intended that they will vote for Aam Aadmi Party, and that was the time when candidates were not announced at all. So what is happening these days, in my opinion, Congress is going up. Aam Aadmi Party is not declining very fast, but it's almost there, 18, 19, 20%. That's my sense, and Congress is going up. So in my opinion, number 1, number 2, number 3. That's the line in which I see Gujarat elections. Finally, we would get to know on the 8th of December, but this is how I see the Gujarat.
No, let me ask you a straight question. You're saying that the slope of the AAP vote share graph is already downward sloping, which means from that 20 you think it could go down, and you're expecting the Congress's vote share from that 29 to potentially go up?
My own sense is, Rahul, Congress, when we did our poll, we were not getting Congress 29, but my own sense is that Congress would be roughly about 28, 29, anything in the range of 25 to 30% vote. Aam Aadmi Party may be in the range of 16 to 22, maybe 16 to 20, and BJP should be able to retain its vote share. They might go down by only a couple of percentages. On that also I put a question mark. BJP will be able to retain their vote share, and that will keep BJP far ahead of its nearest rival, which is likely to be Congress.
Which could also mean, just mathematically, I'm not doing the polling on this, just mathematically, if the opposition vote share gets split in this fashion, BJP could end up most certainly beating that 127 record which Narendra Modi set in 2002, and potentially start challenging Madhav Singh Solanki's record of 149 seats back in 1995. So there are various things to look at, but we'll leave them for the 8th of December. But I want to go across to Supriya Srinath first, because simple math suggests that if the AAP ends up about 20% vote share, 7 of 10 coming from the Congress, which means at least 15 odd percent of that vote share has come from the Congress party, which, forget what happens on the 8th of December, suggests in the long run the Congress could end up ceding ground to AAP in Gujarat like you have in Delhi, where it becomes very difficult then for the Congress to bounce back.
So with all due respect to all the pollsters on your show right now, we will have a good chat on the 8th of December, and I say this not smart, but with some amount of electoral credibility that one has seen over the years. I am not going to argue with them, they must have done their work, but we keep an eye on the ground and we will have a chat on this. However, I think, this was said in Goa, this was said in Uttarakhand, this has been said very often. One fluke election doesn't mean that the Aam Aadmi Party is going to do what many predict it will. 20% vote share is laughable. I have only one question, though, for the Aam Aadmi Party, and I have no personal grouse against anybody on this show. There was a Make India #1 Yatra that was supposed to start from Hisar, where they got 2.5% vote share in September. I'm just wondering, where has that Yatra reached? I also want to know, in Gujarat, the land of Mahatma Gandhi and Sardar Patel, why have their pictures been thrown out of AAP offices and Manish Sisodia is being placed next to Bhagat Singh? I also want to know, where is Colonel Kotiyal, their chief ministerial candidate in Uttarakhand? To the best of my knowledge, he is now a BJP spokesperson, goes and vociferously speaks against them and defends the BJP on television debates. And very similar news is coming from Goa about their CM candidate Palekar. But that's not the story. The story, I want to take it back in the next 20 seconds, and that's when I will end, is about Gujarat. टेलीविजन स्टूडियो में तो भाषण दिए भी नहीं जाते, आप भी रैली में तो बोल नहीं रही हैं, टेलीविजन स्टूडियो में ही बोल रही हैं, इसलिए टेलीविजन स्टूडियो में झूठ नहीं बोलना चाहिए. Gujarat dropped from top to number 6th in FDI last year. That's when they started diverting the FDI from Maharashtra to Gujarat to make it number 1 again. It dropped to number 6. 9,000 crore was the loan, was the total debt on Gujarat when Mr. Modi became Chief Minister. Today it is at over 5 lakh crore rupees, 63,000 on every Gujarati. That's the kind of debt we are talking about. We also want to talk about two very important things, and then I shall end. C.K. Rahulji, the man who said that all the rapists who were released were sanskaris, also obviously recommended their release, which was finally given a green signal by Amit Shah, has been given a ticket. And Naroda Patia's convict's daughter says in election campaign where she has been given a ticket.
Okay, so I just want to correct myself.
I just want to understand what is that negative.
Okay, just one second. For our viewers, I just want to correct myself. I said it was in 1995 that Madhav Singh Solanki made his record. I just remembered it wasn't 1995, it was 1985 when they won 149 out of the 182 seats based on the calm construct that he came up with, but that's just a matter of historical record. Coming back, Reena Gupta, to what we heard from our political pundits, even if the AAP ends up at around 20% vote share, which is significant and important, but if it is as dispersed as Yashwant seems to suggest, it also means that the conversion into seats is very sketchy, and therefore potentially Congress still ends up number 2 and AAP gets some brownie points and moral victories, but it doesn't convert in the end into a substantive number of seats to be able to influence what happens in the Gujarat Assembly after the 8th of December.
Rahul, surveys never show the exact picture as far as Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. I'm very sorry, Mr. Yashwant was giving us 55 seats in 2022 in Punjab, and in the end we got 92. So as far as the polls are concerned, you see the kind of reception we are getting from the ground. Aam Aadmi Party is the only party whose graph is constantly going up in all the polls from the time the polls started. As far as Congress is concerned, Congress is nowhere to be seen. Their candidates are on camera saying, Aam Aadmi Party ko vote mat do, Bharatiya Janata Party ko vote do. N number of their candidates are actually campaigning for Bharatiya Janata Party. So Congress is totally out of the picture.
Can you name even
and
one of them?
point number
Instead of
3,
peddling
Rahul,
lies here,
they were at
can
least
you name
30
one
to
of them? I
40
can name
seats
1,000
last
people
time
who are
where
speaking against
Nota
AAP in
actually
Gujarat.
played a role.
You do not
These
speak against
30 to 40
atrocities in
seats
Delhi. You
where
want to
people
talk
were
about
Reena, let Reena
both-
speak,
let
please.
me
Let
please
Reena
the
speak. I
BJP
can't have a
again.
debate like this.
Please,
Let
what
Reena
is
speak, please.
Last time, Rahul, there were at least 30 to 40 seats where Nota played a big role. These were people who were unhappy both with Congress and with the Bharatiya Janata Party. These are the same people who are looking for an alternative. This time, Aam Aadmi Party is a real alternative, and we'll see the day the results come out, Rahul. But it is going to be a
We'll see on the
sweet,
12th
like
of December.
Punjab, unpredictable results you're going to see that day.
Pataka.
Rahul,
Okay,
May I
now
please-
you should be happy. The battle, Sanju Verma seems to be for second and third place, that who will come after the BJP. It doesn't seem to be so much a battle for whether you're winning or not. So I hope you've got your box of laddus out for both the cephalogists.
you know, Rahul, first and foremost, I have not interrupted any panelists. You've given them a free run. I want to make some points.
Go on.
First and foremost, let's be very clear. Thanks to the Gujarat model, today the Gujarat GSDP is more than 18 lakh crore. Gujarat is among the top 5 states in terms of ease of doing business, in terms of getting FDI, in terms of per capita income, which is more than 2,30,000 rupees. There has
One
been a
of the most corrupt as
62%
well.
drop. Rahul, this is not fair. Can I please
There
be
is a
given
debt of
screen
8
time?
lakh crore on Gujarat.
Let Sanju Verma speak. Other traders goes down, please. Let Sanju Verma speak. Sanju.
थैंक यू राहुल फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट मेरे को इकोनॉमी के बारे में ये आम आदमी पार्टी और कांग्रेस के पैनलिस्ट से सीखने की जरूरत नहीं है गुजरात assuming has a debt of 5 lakh crore, the size of the economy is more than 18 lakh crore, which means that the debt to GDP ratio is barely 27 or 28%. Under the Congress party, Punjab's overall economy size was 5 lakh crore and debt was 3 lakh crore, which means debt to GDP was 60%. इसलिए यहाँ बैठकर भाषण मत दो. Now let me come to the most important point. You did not interrupt them. Per capita income more than 2,30,000 rupees. Top 5 in terms of per capita income. Top 5 in terms of ease of doing business. Overall GSDP more than 18 lakh crore. 62% fall in hate crimes, communal crimes, in all forms of violence. 458 kilometer long Narmada Dam project with a height of 163 meters, which can irrigate 25 lakh hectares, has given water to more than 9,000 villages, more than 15 districts, and more than 200 talukas in Gujarat came to life thanks to Narendra Modi. And I'll tell you, where the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress, share something in common. Who is giving platform to Medha Patkar? कांग्रेस पार्टीज राहुल गांधी भारत छोड़ो यात्रा और यही मेधा पाटकर को लेकर अरविंद केजरीवाल वाज आल्सो परेडिंग अराउंड एज इफ शी इज अ प्राइज्ड पोजीशन. मेधा पाटकर fought for decades to deprive Gujaratis of basic necessities like water and power. One minute. Despite
30 seconds more, that's it.
Okay, 30 seconds more. Despite knowing the fact, Medha Patkar knew that Gujarat's command area, 75% of that is drought prone. Despite that, Medha Patkar, driven by her selfish agenda, said नर्मदा बचाओ आंदोलन के तहत गुजरात को बेनिफिट होगा. नहीं मैडम, गुजरात को आज बेनिफिट इसलिए हो रहा है, it has turned from a water deficit to water surplus state thanks to the willpower of one man.
Okay, so in the few minutes that I have left, I want to spend time talking about what could change over the next 10 days. Remember, this is where the importance of narrative gets engulfed in the poll campaign. Because if the Aam Aadmi Party can make voters who don't want to vote for the BJP believe that they are an important player, then the Congress's vote share could potentially come down even further and the AAP vote share could go up. However, if the opposition voters start thinking that AAP is hawa mein and not on the ground, then potentially the AAP vote share, from a reflection of intention to vote, which is about 20%, the actual vote share could potentially come down. And therefore, Yashwant Deshmukh now, over the next 10 days, this is where hawa, mahal, narrative and spin mastery comes into play, because you have to get people, voters, to start believing that you are the ones challenging the BJP, and that could be either AAP or it could be Congress, and that is what potentially could change over the next about a week and a half.
Absolutely right, Rahul. And this is the perception of what people think is the contest is right now. And in our trackers, we ask one question: what exactly do they think is the contest? Is it like primarily between BJP and the Congress, or AAP versus the Congress, or BJP versus the AAP, and like that? Over a period of last 3-4 months, the number of people who are thinking it is BJP versus AAP has been consistently going up. And that is something which is kind of very remarkable in a way that number of people who think that Aam Aadmi Party doesn't have the candidates, it doesn't have network or people on the ground, or whichever way you look at it. Still, big number of even the Congress supporters, when they say that contest in their seat is between Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP, that is an alarming sign. Having said that, I agree with Sanjay Bhai that probably by the time election will happen, this might eventually Congress might get into the picture because of their old network, people on the ground, their booth present, their network of people who actually work on the ground. That organizational strength might give Congress the chance to kind of make a comeback as the principal opposition. That is a very much possibility. But looking at the graph purely on the number of people who are believing that who is in contest, it is interesting to observe that bigger number of people consider that Aam Aadmi Party is in contest with the BJP than the number of people who say that Congress.
Now, what could happen in this case, Sanjay Kumar, if what Yashwant Deshmukh is saying is true, just psychologically, the Congress's vote share could potentially crash if this happens. If people start thinking it's a fight between BJP and AAP, then the Congress's vote share from, say, 30 could potentially crash further or come down further, and the AAP vote share could rise. So that is what could potentially change. What do you see potentially changing? What are the variables, the X factors that you would be tracking very closely over the next week and a half? Sanjay Kumar.
Rahul, these days, if I look at how elections have taken place during last, say, 4 or 5 years, perception has played a very important role, far more important compared to how government has been able to perform. So the perception, whichever party is able to create the perception that this is the party which is the prime challenger to BJP, the vote will shift in their side. I think there is a strong desire among the people, and this comes out from the survey which we conducted, about a third alternative, an alternative beyond Congress and BJP. So sizable number of people believe that the state needs a third alternative. But there is a challenge to that, and the challenge is that when you ask this question, do you believe that Aam Aadmi Party could be an alternative to BJP? The belief among the large number of people is that no, state needs a third alternative, but Aam Aadmi Party is not suitable, doesn't seem to be fit enough or sizable enough to replace BJP. So this perception game. So if Congress is able to create that perception that they still remain the prime challenger to BJP, I think Aam Aadmi Party voters will start shifting towards Congress. If Aam Aadmi Party is able to create that perception that they are the prime challenger, then what you said, Rahul, would be right. Congress vote share might go down further and the voters might shift towards Aam Aadmi Party.
You know, and what's the percentage of undecided or fence sitters at this moment? Yeah, according to you, Sanjay Kumar, what's the percentage of fence sitters or undecided voters at this moment?
Roughly about 15%, 10-15% are undecided. I won't call them fence sitter, but they are undecided because they are unable to make up their mind.
Yashwant Deshmukh, what's your percentage number on those who are undecided at this moment who could swing either ways?
I agree with Sanjay Bhai that it's roughly about 10 to 15% across different regions. And one thing that I want to add, mathematically speaking, a probability that, if Aam Aadmi Party even polls 10%, Rahul, in probability that increases the gap between Congress and the BJP by 5%. So, and BJP is also likely to vote, I mean, just like Sanjay Bhai said, they might probably end up getting fewer votes than last time. But funny thing in this arithmetic is just because of the division of the opposition vote, with a drop in vote share, BJP is likely to get bigger number of seats than the last time.
Okay, it's interesting that it's really down to those 10-15%. You can call them Maucatarians, you can call them whatever you want. They will go whichever way they think the hawa is going. And that 10 to 15% is essentially what the election is about. The others have made up their mind. They will go out on voting day and do what they've decided. It's these 10-15% who will keep the likes of Sanju Verma, Reena Gupta, Supriya Shrineth and everyone in their parties very busy, will give us something to talk about over the next week and a half, which is what we will do very, very carefully and very, very incisively. You know, frankly, we don't care who wins or who loses. For us, this is the contest. Understanding elections, helping you understand elections, giving you a real sense, objective facts on which way the winds are blowing, not hawabazi, but actual assessment of facts on the basis of what's happening on the ground. And that's what we'll continue to do on India's election channel.